I wrote this poem called Your Peach when I was living in Chicago a couple years ago. It was the end of September, and there was just a few more nice days left before it became fall. So me and my friends went down to the beach, Lake Michigan, and just enjoyed the last bit of hot air and nice weather. And I decided to write this poem. I was really inspired. I love Chicago, and it was my last summer there before I moved. So here you are. You're a peach. You're a peach. Sweet nectar leaks from pinking skin on the beach. Each sentence a speech. Velvet dress from a backyard boutique. Late summer sun setting under white sail peaks. First drafts and flesh greet. Seeking new words and rouged cheeks. Saving photographs like seeds. Pressing your leaves between the books I will read. For when waters recede and trees freeze in their sleep, you'll leave me goosebumps for weeks. Montrose Beach. So the you that I'm addressing in this poem is summer. I just thought that a peach perfectly represented my summer that year. And as I'm sitting on the beach, I'm literally getting a sunburn. It's like one of the last times I'll ever get sun because Chicago winters are so brutal. So I'm thinking about how I'm sweating, and that's the sweet nectar, my pinking skin, and then going back to that peach analogy, a velvet dress, like the velvetness of a peach, and then a backyard boutique, like I picked this ripe, juicy peach from a backyard, and I was going to a lot of like farmers markets that summer. Chicago has fantastic farmers markets. Anyway, so I'm sitting on the beach, and obviously late summer because it's September, and in the horizon, on the horizon, there is a bunch of sailboats, and the sun is setting, and was just so beautiful. I never wanted to forget that moment, which is why I decided to write this poem and just capture my feeling in that, you know. Funny enough too, my hair was also pink at that time too. This was a couple years ago, and so like I had this peachy colored hair, so that also came into play. I almost forgot about that. But my favorite lines are near the end, I guess the middle, second stanza, when I say, first drafts and flesh greet, seeking new words and rouged cheeks. So I'm saying like first drafts, like double meaning, like the draft of the wind, like the Chicago winter and fall that's coming, and flesh, like my skin, I'm feeling that breeze for the first time, and I'm like, oh crap, summer's almost over. But then on the other hand, I'm also saying first drafts, like first drafts of my poetry or anything that I was writing at the time. So first drafts, flesh, and then the next line it goes, seeking new words, like drafts, and rouged cheeks, like skin. I thought that was really smart. I was really excited about that line. And then the saving photographs like seeds just was about wanting to remember this summer, because it honestly was one of the best summers I've ever had with all my friends. And I'd press them into, you know, like scrapbooks or whatever, and like pressing leaves, like saving those special moments, you know, how people press flowers into books. And I'm saying that I'm gonna read the books, like the books I will read, because summer's over and I'll be inside because it's winter, doing nothing but probably reading and writing, you know. And that is represented by me saying when waters recede, when the beach doesn't have, you know, big waves anymore, it's calmed down, and when trees freeze in their sleep, when trees go into hibernation. The last line, heavy hitter, you'll leave me goosebumps for weeks. And again, the you I'm talking about is summer. So that first draft that hits me gives me the goosebumps, and I'll never forget that summer. Montrose Beach. That's why I wrote the poem. And then, of course, there's the poetic techniques that I used. I decided that this poem was going to just have one rhyme scheme, like A, the entire time. I don't know why, it felt right. It sounded good. There was a lot of rhymes I could do with peach, and like almost rhymes. Peach, leek, beach, speech, boutique, peak, screet, cheek, seeds, read, sleep, weeks, beach. And of course, I love alliteration. I'd say like rhyming the most. Most of my poems do rhyme at least once. But then alliteration is my second favorite, like, poetic technique. Summer sun setting under white sail peaks. Seeking new words, saving photographs like seeds, pressing your leaves. All the S's, you know. When waters, sentence of speech, backyard boutique. This poem basically wrote itself, if I'm being honest. It was very easy. The rhymes just came to me. I usually write like a list of rhymes and go off of there. And so I'm like, oh wow, they're all rhymes. There's so many rhymes. I'll stick to one rhyme scheme, which I don't do often. So I'm like, it'll be a nice change of pace in my poetry. And another thing I used is, I don't know what this technique is called, but I addressed you in the first line, and then I addressed you in the last line as like bookends, which is kind of what this poem is one bookend, like the last bookend of summer, if that makes sense. So the poem is kind of in between the yous. It's like summer is here at the end of summer and the beginning of summer. You, your, and you'll. And then the meat of the poem, which is summer. It makes me so happy. So thank you for listening to me ramble on about poetry. I love it so much.